Over in the NFC, Tom Brady is starting to look like, well, Tom Brady, just in time for the stretch run. Michael Irvin explains why we better not sleep on the Bucs. And after a dismal performance on the field and at the podium, Zach Wilson has been benched in New York. We go players only on how they can fix their issues in a potentially divided locker room before it's too late. All that and much more Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Also on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Cynthia will be handing out projections, but she's got a few for us. It's like when you just want a snack before dinner.
Just a little treat.
This is it. She's giving us a little bit here. All right, let's start with Patrick Mahomes. Will he have more than 288.5 yards through the air?
So I have fewer than that. I have less, 282 with 3 passing touchdowns.
Oh, I like that.
A monstrous game. There's 2 reasons. One, game script, I think that they will be favored, so potentially running more in the second half. But also, if you're looking at the next-gen stats, you see that this Rams defensive front, they're getting to the quarterback the fastest. They have the fastest time to throw against, 2.38 seconds in the NFL.
Wow.
Hello, Aaron Donald, still a big factor, still a big deal. So maybe not so many quick passes, because that's actually an area where Patrick Mahomes has a completion percentage below expected of just 1.2.
Yeah, let's not forget Aaron is still out there. How about Jalen Hurts? His favorite target, A.J. Brown, more or less than 71.5 yards on Sunday night.
I love this one. It's a very strong projection. 6 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown, which is more. It's all about those 10-plus air yard passes. That's an area where Brown has a catch rate over expected of plus 8.5. And the Green Bay defense, they've allowed 12.8 yards per attempt on these 10-plus air yard passes. That's second most in the NFL, second most generous in the NFL.
Wow.
That's a lot, massive.
And
Great for A.J.
somehow
Brown.
I'm not surprised at all that he's there. Now, earlier, TD broke down exactly what King Henry can do. Now you can tell us if he will have more than 98.5 rush yards against the Bengals.
Oh, I'm going with more here.
We'd love
I
to
have
see it.
109 and a touchdown for King Henry. Why? Because of where he runs. Remember, DJ Reader's back in the middle, so the middle isn't so great. But you know where he runs? He runs on the outside. 67.4% of his rushes. That is outside the tackles. He has 1,010 rushing yards there, 4th overall with 661 outside the tackles in general. So that's an area where Cincinnati has allowed plus 107 rushing yards over expected. So it is a plus matchup for Derrick Henry.
He can do a little 1-2 step. He can get going and adds a little stiff arm there for good measure. All right, Sin, don't go far. We've got more projections from you later in the show. Catching you up on a few headlines here. A big headline here. Jets QB Mike White will start in place of a bench Zach Wilson against the Bears on Sunday. Wilson had his worst performance of the season against the Patriots in Week 11. He was 9 for 22 for a whopping 77 yards in that 10-3 loss. Following the game, it was Wilson's lack of accountability that sparked headlines and ultimately led to his demotion.
I wouldn't say necessarily surprised because I haven't been doing my job, and you know, of course, I would like to not agree with the decision and everything, but it comes down to I got to play better. It's deserved. You know, the way that I handled the situation wasn't right. You know, I got to be a better football player, and then I got to be a better leader for these guys. And you know what, I have an opportunity to turn the page here as a player and as a leader, and to be able to take a step forward.
See, I like that. Much better already learning there. Time for Bucket List presented by KFC. And we are going to focus on this game, on Bears-Jets. So we heard his mentality there, already sort of riding the ship there. We got to see it as well, though, TD. Do you think Zach Wilson will regain the starting job this season?
I don't think he's going to regain it this season. Maybe at some point in his career if the Jets decide to keep him in that locker room. But I just feel like Mike White is going to take full advantage of this opportunity, a lot like we saw Taylor Heineke do in Washington, right? Taylor Heineke got an opportunity. He made the most of it. It's not going to be hard to step in and do what Zach Wilson wasn't able to do because he didn't offer a lot to that offense anyway.
Right.
And for him to come out and not be humble like we just heard him after that game really spoke to who he was as a person and as a player.
I think so. I think another side of the coin there is how well Mike White plays out there.
Exactly. And we all think that he's going to do tremendously well, just like he did a few years ago when he got that opportunity.
Yeah, that locker room loves that guy, and we've seen what he's capable of. He's just got to show it. All right, but what about this defense for the Jets? They've been getting it done. And talk about a glow-up, because last year they were in the bottom of the league, last in terms of top scoring defense and total defense. Now they're in the top 10. You see the last time a team did that? In the 50s, y'all. Oh, look, there was once a Pittsburgh Pirates NFL team, which is phenomenal. All right, let's pick some games here, and we are going to start with this Bears-Jets game. Thomas Davis, get us going.
The Jets went out and added 3 first-rounders in Sauce, and you had Johnson, and you had Quentin Williams. I know that he wasn't a new first-rounder, but he's playing like the first-rounder they expected him to be. So I'm going with the Jets in this one, 24-10, MJ. I feel like they're going to rebound in a huge way with Mike White at quarterback and put some points on the board. And their defense, like you just talked about, has been phenomenal all season long and keeping people off the board.
Can I ask a question, though? This season, Justin Fields has beaten every quarterback that was drafted in the 2021 draft class. Is this already considered a win for Justin Fields? Because he did not get benched. He didn't have to get coerced into giving the proper response 6 days later. He did it that afternoon. But here's the thing. I know that this Bears team is facing an uphill battle. This Jets squad looks amazing. Plus, the Jets or the Bears are going to be without Jaquan Brisker. They're going to be without Kyler Gordon. They're 2 good rookies. And so you look at this, and I know that every week I come out here and make a pick. I'm getting there. Give me the Bears, 1917. You're not going to come up here and get me. There will not be a graphic near my name that has the Bears losing.
Rank just told us all the reasons why he knew that they were going to lose.
I know.
That's not even accurate. I'm just saying it's going to be more difficult than it should have been.
Where's the homer at?
It's they did it.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. It's the consistency for me, Rank. I appreciate you, but I am taking the Jets in a close one. Still putting respect. I'm under the. I'm taking the assumption that maybe, just maybe, Justin Fields will be out there. We'll see. 20-17, the final. All right, let's go Packers-Eagles. Our TA game of the week. I love this. TD.
The Eagles have struggled the last couple of weeks, but they were not struggling this game, MJ. The Packers just haven't offered a lot. Their defense hasn't been performing well, and this is going to be a bounce-back game for the Eagles, a team that won a game last week in the last seconds. And, yes, I called it a bounce-back game because they're going to win this one big. I got them winning 20-10 in this one versus the Packers.
You know what? I've got the same 10-point margin. Give me the Eagles 30-20. And you're absolutely right. The Eagles, kind of struggled through a couple of games, but they're playing so well on both sides of the football. They're finding ways to win games where the Packers are not doing it. We're used to seeing Aaron Rodgers do that over the course of his career. He is not doing that. And let's be realistic. The only game Aaron Rodgers still cares about, beating the Bears next week. And then after that, he can ride off into the sunset and be like, my thumb hurts, and do whatever. Go do the McAfee show, go have a good time, and call it a day.
I will say I have the connection that we've seen between him and Christian Watson, the young receiver. That makes me think this will be a closer game, but I still have the Eagles winning it 27-20, the final. All right, we asked you at home who you thought would win this game, and what is that? 71% of you have the Eagles getting the dub. So
29% of the people watching this show are Packers fans.
Here we go. Yes. All right, one more. Steelers, Colts, TD.
Jen, cover your ears.
Oh, boy.
You're listening right now, but I'm going with the Colts 14-10. I'm not particularly fond of what happened with Jeff Saturday and how he became their coach, but one thing is for sure, they are playing better football with him coaching them. Whatever the reason is, they seem to have responded to that move.
They did respond over the first couple of weeks, but I think once you go into a situation where you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, a coach that has never had a losing season in his career, T.J. Watt is returning. Give me the Steelers, 21-20, an opportunity for me to make up some ground.
Not that much ground, though, because I also have the Steelers winning this one, 25-21. You're right. I think the resurgence and the return to the 2 seed in the AFC for now. For now. Don't forget, we still have many, many games left.
For now.
Sunday, which we will pick in just a second. But first, we gotta just give Thomas Davis his props. Still in the lead, but we're closing in on him, Frank. We're closing in.
We're gaining.
We're gaining ground.
First, MJ,
You're last.
you're
Fair
somewhere
enough.
behind me.
Don't you ever go to
just right there.
Go to a sporting event and they have an ice cream race or anything like that? The one who's in last place always ends up winning in the end.
But
So-
is that so? You got to be in first at some point, though.
All right. Well, let's get into the game picks, and we're starting with Seahawks Raiders. Rankster, first dibs.
Former AFC West rivals. I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks in this one. Obviously, they dropped a tough game over there in Munich, but this team has still been playing very well this season, and a big reason why is because of Geno Smith, a player who a lot of people, including myself, had given up on. Didn't really give him a chance to win this job. We thought it was going to be Drew Lock.
Yeah.
I think going up against that Raiders defense, Geno is going to do quite well. So I have the Seahawks winning.
Listen, I got to agree with you on this one, Rank, and I usually don't agree with you that often. I will say that.
It's true.
But Geno Smith, to me, has been the comeback player of the year in the NFL. 100%. I mean, without a doubt. Like you said, I did not believe that Geno was going to be the guy, but he has been the guy in a big way for Seattle, and I'm going with Seattle 27-19 because this Raiders team, they can never put it all together. The defense might play well one week, then the offense might play well. Once they put it all together, which I don't think they're going to do this week,
Yeah.
then we'll figure out who the Raiders really are.
It really hurts my feelings to see how the Raiders